Assalamu alaikum, my dear students. How are you? I think you are all well by the grace of Almighty Allah. Welcome to NIEVS Home School. I am Muhammad Yamin Apu, an assistant teacher of mathematics, National Ideal English Version School, morning shift. My dear students, today I am going to take a higher mathematics class for the student of class 9. Our today's topic is exercise 1.2, question number 10. That means we will solve only one question today from exercise 1.2. Your lecture number is 16 and you have a homework. Your homework number is 12. Dear students, let's start. There is a question here of question number 10 from your exercise 1.2. The question is, for the function f from r to r, that means real number to real number, f of x is defined here by as x cube. Then there are four sub questions. Question number 1 is find domain f. Dom f means domain f and range of f. Okay. Question number 2 is show that f is a 1 function. Question number 3 is find f inverse. That means we need to find out the inverse function of the given function. And question number 4 is show that f inverse is a function. Okay. So question number 1 is find domain of f and range of f. That is why how can we solve question number 10 sub question number 1. Okay. Given that or given function is f is a function from real number to real number. Okay, is defined by which is defined by f of x equal to x cube. Okay, f of x that's equal to x cube. Now my dear students, we need to find out the domain of this function. Already it is clear that the domain is the real number, because by the definition we know that from which number is our domain. That means we can write down by the definition of domain of function the dom f, that means domain of f that's equal to real number r. Okay, because the first we have to move, that means from a real number to real number. This function is defined as real number to real number, so the real number is our domain. And my dear students, for every x belong to the real number r, we have f of x which is also belong to r. That means if we put the value of x here, we will get x cube, which is also is in the real number. That is why we can write down for every x belong to r, every x belong to this real number r, we will get f of x equal to the real number. That means we will find a value of f of x which is in the real number also. So we can say that the range of the function f is equal to r, because all the value of this f of x is belong to r. That is why our range of f equal to r. So dom f equal to r and the range of f is also is equal to r. I hope you have understood. Now the second question is, show that f is a 1 function. Show that f is a 1 function. To show this one, I am going to erase this one, okay, because I need to show the f of x is equal to x cube is a 1 function. Okay. Question number 2 is, again, given function is f is a real number to real number, which is defined by what? Which is defined by f of x that's equal to x cube. Okay, this is given. Now my dear students, the function f is said to be an 1 function. is said to be a 1 1 function, said to be a 1 1 function, a 1 1 function if there exists x1 and x2 belong to x1 and x2 belong to the real number r, such that f of x1 that's equal to f of x2, then x1 is equal to x2. That means two images, that means there are two images f of x1 and f of x2 are equal, okay, for every x1 and x2 belong to r. Then we need to find out x1 and x2 are equal, then we can call that f is an 1 1 function. My students, now put this value here f of x1 that's equal to f of x2, right? Now put this value of f of x implies that we can write f of x1. So we have the function f of x equal to x cube. So if you put in the place of x, if you put x1, then we will put the value x in the place of x, we can put the value of x1, okay? That means we can write down x1 cube, because f of x equal to x cube. So f of x1 equal to x1 cube, okay? And f of x2 equal to x2 cube. Now we can take a cube root in the both of this equation. We can take cube root in the both of the equation because we are going to omit this cube from the both side. That is why we can take the cube root in the both of this side of this equation. Now, my dear students, we can omit implies that we can omit this cube and cube root. We have x1, and in the right side we can omit this cube and cube root. So we have x2. That means we have proved that x1 equal to x2 if there exists the image f of x1 and f of x2 are equal. Then we find out that x1 equal to x2. So fx, that means the function, therefore the function fx is 1 1. I hope you have understood, my dear students, okay? It should be capital F because the function is given here is capital fx1 and fx2, okay? Now our next question is, we need to find out the value of f inverse. That means we need to find out the inverse function of the given function fx, okay? Now again, to solve the question number 3, we'll erase this one, okay? We'll erase this one. But the student, it's question number 3. Question number 3 is, given function is f from real number to real number, which is defined by f of x equal to x cube. Now let to find out the inverse function, first of all we have to let y equal to f of x. After that y equal to f of x, and my dear students, f of x equal to x cube is given, so you can write down y equal to f of x equal to x cube, okay? From the first two relation, that means from y equal to f of x, we have from first relation y equal to f of x, right? Now my dear students, from this equation we need to find out the value of x. We need to find out the value of x. That is why we should do what? We should omit this f. To omit this f, we will multiply f inverse in the both of the side of this equation, okay? Implies that f inverse is multiplied with this equation in the both side, f inverse f of x, because we are going to find out the value of x, so we need to omit this f. That is why we will multiply f inverse in the both of the side of this equation. Now my dear students, it is what? Now it's required is f inverse of y, that's equal to this inverse, and f is omitted, that means x. So we can write down therefore x equal to f inverse of y. X equal to what? F inverse of y. Now my dear students, from the second and third relation, that means we have find out this one from these two relation, right? Now my dear students, from first and third relation we have also, we can write down we have also what? Y equal to x cube. Y equal to x's cube, right? Now we can write down this one on the left side, x's cube equal to y. Now we are going to find out the value of x because the value of x is already found out. So we will calculate the value of x here. To calculate the value of x, we need to omit this cube. That is why we should take cube root in the both of the side. Okay, cube root we have taken. Now it will be omitted. That means cube and cube root will be omitted. That means in the left side we have x, that's equal to cube root of y. Okay, dear students. Now put the value of x here. The value of x is what? The value of x is f inverse of y, and the value of x is what? The value of x is cube root of y. That is why we can write down, therefore f inverse of y, that's equal to cube root of y, because these two are the value of x. So we can write down these two values equal. So f inverse of y equal to cube root of y. Now we can find the value. We can find the value of f inverse of y, but we need the value of f inverse of x. So in the place of y we will put the value x. Okay, in the place of y we will put x. So f inverse of x is equal to, in the place of y we have put the value of x. That is why in the place of y we should write down x. Okay, cube root of x. Now that means f inverse of x equal to cube root of x. This is our inverse function. But my dear students, you need to write down the note here. Putting x in the place of y. Okay, now we should write down, therefore f inverse of x, that's equal to cube root of x. But we need to another notice here, because this x is in the cube root, that's why the value of x can't be negative. The value of x can't be negative. So x is greater than or equal 0. That means x is non-negative number. X must be non-negative number because the value of x here is in between the cube root. That's why x value can't be negative. Okay, it's called a positive, or it's non-negative. Okay, it's non-negative, 0 and positive, that means it's non-negative. My dear students, now we will solve question number 4. Question number 4 is, show that f inverse is a function. Show that f inverse is a function. We have already got from question number 3, f inverse of x equal to what? F inverse of x equal to cube root of x. Okay, we need this one to solve question number 4, because we are going to write down, we are going to prove that question number 4 is f inverse is a function. To be a function, my dear students, there is some requirement. I am going to write down. It's question number 4. From 3 we have f inverse of x, which is equal to cube root of x, which we have found in question number 3. Okay, now we are going to prove that f inverse of x is a function, my dear students. To prove this one we need to prove another thing. Suppose now we will write down f inverse of x is said to be a function if there exists x belong to domain of f inverse. There exists some domain in the f inverse function such that for every x we have f inverse of x equal to y. Okay, that means we need to some value of y. To be a function, the domain's value can't be empty. That means some value needs to be required. So if the domain of f inverse has some element, then f inverse of x equal to y. We need to record. Okay, for that we assume x is equal to y cube. This will we let as our wish. Okay, but to be a function it is required, because we have already notice my dear students, it is very important to assume this one, x equal to y cube. Why we have assumed y cube? Because x is in the cube root, that's why I take y cube. Then we can omit this one. Okay, then we can omit this one easily, cube and cube root. That is why I assume x equal to y cube. Now what we have, what we can write down, therefore f inverse of x can be written down as which one? Is cube root of x, and we know the value of x equal to what? We assume already y cube, so it should be y cube, the value of x. The value of x is equal to y cube. Now this cube and cube root should be omitted. That means we can write down, therefore f inverse of x, that's equal to y. We got this one. To be a function we need a value, a domain image is f inverse of x equal to y. We need this one for every x belong to the domain of f inverse. For every x belong to the domain of f inverse, we got already the f inverse of x that is equal to y, which is required to be a function. I think my students, you have understood. Now we can write down, so f inverse of x is a function. My students, the proof is done, but this thing is very important to be assumed or to be let. It's very important to be a function. It's required because my students, look, f inverse of x equal to cube root of x. So I assume x equal to y cube. That means this cube and cube root should be omitted. That is why I assume x equal to y cube. I think you have understood. Now my students, you have a homework, and your homework number is 12. Your homework number is 12. Please mention the homework number in your HW copy in the left top corner. Your homework is question number 12 of exercise number 1.2. Okay, in 1.2 you need to solve question number 12. It's your number 12 homework. The students, you have I think you have understood my today's lecture. See you inshallah again with a new topic. Till then, Allah Hafiz.